We've got Dr. Mable John in the house, and this woman is a living history.
Yes.
And a major blessing, and I'd like to just bring her up here, and you can ask her. She's got so much more, way more information than I do. Come on, let's give Mr. Dr. Mable
I came back in on, I think, the answer to someone's question about the music and how do you mix all of this and do all of the things that we do. First of all, let me just say to our wonderful friend and sister Claudia Lennear,
Yes.
because she is really a special person to me. And I think we should just applaud her for the transition. Any person that do more than one thing and do it well is a dreamer. And in order to be successful in music or anything, you have to dream. You have to visualize, and you have to paint the picture in your mind so it's like you can reach out and touch it and it's in your hands. I don't know what I would do without music, because there's never a time from a small child growing up, and you can believe I was once a small child. The radios in our house were never turned off. There was music always. It was country music, it was classical music. My mother's mother, which was my grandmother, she didn't want her children singing the blues. And of course, you know, I'm older than probably everybody in here. And they didn't even call them blues at that time, they called them reels. And my mother said, in her heart, when I get grown and get married, I'm gonna sing me some blues. Because that was in her heart. Did you hear Charlotte talking about whatever you just can't live without? That's that kind of dreaming. Something that you want to do, you love it, you get by yourself and you do it, you listen to it, and it satisfies your very soul. Well, that's what the blues did for my mother, and she couldn't even talk about it. She wasn't allowed to sing them. So on my mother and father's wedding day, my mother sang the blues to my father. There's always something that will lead you into what you really will be good at doing. And sometimes you're talented, like Miss Lennear. You can teach the Spanish, you can teach this, you can do that, you can dance, you can sing. And all of that is a gift. And it comes from up above. We don't make this up on our own. But I had a gift to write, to compose, and to do little short stories. And none of us thought too much about it as a girl growing up. And you would not want to believe how I developed that writing gift. I would be sitting as a child in church on Sundays, and the service was much too long, and the preacher was not interesting, And they had all these do's and don'ts that you couldn't do, because if you did this, you were going to hell. If you did this, you were going to hell. And I somehow, without my knowing it and trying to do it, my mind would go to another place. And maybe he would say, the preacher would say, one word. And that word to me was all I got of what he said. But I always had a pad to take notes, because my parents always said, make notes and tell us what you learned when you went to church. So I'd always have my notepad. But I would take one word that I heard, and I would start writing a song on that one word. And I used to go home and tell my mother, I said, now, I didn't really get a whole lot of out of what the pastor said, but I would name that one line with that one word in it. I said, and this is what I wrote. This is what came to me while he was preaching, because I couldn't tell you nothing else that he said. And she said to me, you need to plan to write. I'm not going to tell you, take the time that I have you at church to write. Take some time and just write. Take any subject matter that comes to mind and just write about it, whatever you write about. And I wasn't even doing it to write a song. But in doing that, it developed me in songwriting. I could write a gospel song, I could write the blues, because we had neighbors that came by our home to visit my mother and father, and some of the stuff that they were telling my mother and father, because they were kind of unloading on them, was a great blues song, because the blues was born out of people's pain and people's desires and what they wanted to happen and what they visualized happening. And I would listen to all the stuff that my mother and father would be listening to our neighbors, and I'd write songs. I didn't name them blues, I didn't name them anything. I just gave them a name from whatever subject matter they were talking. Sometime I would have to go to the dictionary and look up different words and the meaning. And then sometime I would get the Bible and I would read Bible stories, and I found out that almost everything that happens in human life, regardless to race, creed, religion, or color, is in the Bible. And there are certain subject matters. I learned how to go into the concordance and look up the words and find scriptures that talk about that. And a lot of the songs that I've written and recorded are actual songs from things that I read from the Bible or from some of the history book. I remember one time the only book in school that I read and enjoyed was A Tale of Two Cities by Dickens. How many of you all ever had to read that book? I think every student had to read that book. I didn't like some of the books because they didn't hold my interest. That's getting back to, how do you know you want to be a singer? How do you know? You develop with listening to people, with watching things, in your own meditation time. And every one of us have a gift. You might say, I don't know my gift. Whatever it is that you love as much as you love your name, or whatever it is you love the most, if it's ice cream, whatever it is that you cannot live without, start developing that. Find books or stories or storytellers that tell the story that will enhance your dream. You will find that you are multi-talented in a lot of cases. And if you have children, or if you expect to have children, never feed them things of discord and failure. They'll develop very fast if you keep telling them what they're made of and how good they are and all the gifts that's down in there. And you can say to them, like one of my sons used to say to me, I do not want to sing. Everybody in the John family sings. I want to do something else. I said, well, what do you want to do? He said, I don't care if it's fixing refrigerators. I just want to know how to do something else besides singing. But I found that he was fighting that battle and war within himself because his greatest idol was Teddy Pendergrass. Oh. It was something in the messages of the songs of Teddy Pendergrass that he just wrapped himself around. To the extent that when Teddy was in that accident and was almost to lose his life, he became a friend to Teddy Pendergrass. He said it's something about that man, just the way he uses a word, the way he twists a line. You don't know who it's going to take to help you find who you are and define who you are. It took me 3 record companies, a host of friends, and a lot of listening to all kinds of music for me to find my place in the industry, in the music industry. It took Motown. It took Barry Gordy before that was a Motown. Because we would ride along, I would be driving in the car, and he would be with me, and he was just writing songs. And then he'd always have to tell me these stories. And I knew they were stories, they were really dressed up lies. But he was trying to find himself and what he wanted to do. And he just really wanted, he said, to be a songwriter. And I think this is a good answer for the question that was asked. He was writing songs and nobody had ever recorded one of his songs. Jackie Wilson lived in the same city where we all were, in Detroit. And I would be driving him to wherever he was going. And he would say, Mable John, do you know how much I love you? I said, no, Barry, I don't. Well, I'm going to tell you. We're driving down Warren Avenue on a one-way street. And I said, tell me how much you love me. If something happened to you, and it was going to be your life instead of my life, if I was saved, you would be lost. But I could save you, but I might get lost too. I'm willing to lose my life and save yours. I said, that sounds good, but I'm sure it's not the truth. I said, but I'm looking for a man just like that. And I ended up writing a song, I'm looking for a man that don't smoke and don't drink and don't want no woman but me. And all of that came from just that little conversation. But before the conversation really ended, here comes a car coming down the one-way street the wrong way. And nobody's in the car but Barry and I. And Barry said, did you see that car? He's gonna hit us. Now he started telling me how much he loved me. It's gonna hit us. So he laid down in my lap and I'm driving. and the car missed us just by a thread. And then when the car passed us, he sat up and he said, did you get your license plate? Did you get your license plate? I said, no, you were going to do that because you were going to save my life. So all of those kind of days and things gives you ideas. And it bonds you with people. Barry Gordy and I today have a bond that we really think that we're sister and brother. And it was Smokey Robinson and I, when he was taking our masters from Detroit to New York every Friday, going into the record companies to see if he could find a deal for us, a record deal. I would drive him to the airport Friday morning. I'd pick him up at 8 o'clock Friday night. And when he told us, after Jackie Wilson recorded a song and it went gold, we still didn't have a Motown, we didn't have a Joe Bett music, and Barry seemed to be fine with that. We went to a BMI Awards dinner at Rockland Palace in New York City. And Barry and Smokey Robinson and I were sitting at the same table. And Barry leaned over to tell Smokey Robinson and I that he just could not find a company that wanted our masters. Now Barry had produced the songs on us, but we didn't have a company, and he would assign different artists to different record companies because he didn't have a company. And it was though Smokey and I had this conversation and we had not ever thought the thought. We said to Barry at that moment, well, stop trying to find a deal for us. And we both said at the same time, if you start your own company, we will stay with you forever, is what I said. That was the birth of Barry Gordy starting Motown. And it started with Tamla, and I was on the Tamla line. When I said to him, and I stayed with you forever, because we were real close, we were buddies. He just looked at me, he didn't address start my own company and what he would do and how he would do it. He said, Mable, don't ever promise anyone that you will stay with them forever. Forever is too long. You all are expecting certain things from me that I might not be able to do. I might not be able to give you what you're looking for. Let's bond, we'll be friends forever. I will always be your friend, you'll always be my friend. But if there's a company over there that can give you what you're looking for, we should remain friends and you go over and get your drink. That was good advice. He started Tamla. I had several releases on Tamla. Nothing real big and spectacular. But it started me to knowing that I could do it. But I thought, like Miss Lennear said, she didn't think that the rap was for her. Well, it's not for me either. I respect whatever art form of music or entertainment a person chooses, because that's for them. I can enjoy it with them, but I have to do what I can do. Well, at that time, I thought that I would only, because I came from a church background, I could only sing gospel and the blues. Now, that blues gene came from my mother. Because my father would play guitar while she sang the blues to him. She never sang publicly. He never played publicly. But what he did with all of my sisters and brothers, we all got together and they made us sing. We had to perform for our mother and father. We wasn't even performing for show business. Willie had the dream. He said, I got to make me some money. I got to sing. The church don't give no money when you sing. They say you ought to be really willing to give your gift. I'm not willing to give mine.
Not good.
Not free. So he went on to develop his talent that way, and I just helped him, and I'm satisfied with that. But it takes someone else sometimes planting a seed in you that you didn't even know that there was a root in there and some ground that seed could go into to help you find yourself. After I had several releases on Tamla, and there came Martha Reeves, there came the Supremes, there came Stevie Wonder. As a little boy, came in there after I recorded the first thing at Motown, Who Would Love a Man Like That? Barry Gordy wrote it and produced it on me. And Stevie, being a kid, running up and down the stairs, almost knocking me down, and he would just jump up, run up the steps and sing in my ear, who would love a man like that? I said, would you please get out of my way so I can hear. But he heard something in that song that was totally different from what Barry heard and produced. He convinced Barry Gordy to allow him to go into the Motown studio and reproduce the song on me. I don't know how he did it because Barry wasn't that easy to convince to change something that he had done and do it another way, but he told him yes. And believe it or not, because it had a young sound, and Stevie was a boy and I was already a woman, it hit a younger crowd, and we had a different kind of sale. And whenever I perform now, most of the time I do Stevie Wonder's version. So it takes, like the people say, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes the whole world, everybody you come in contact with, everything you see, everything you dream. It takes all of that to mold you into your place. And you will know when you have found your niche. Nobody knows how to tell you. Everybody can compliment you wherever you are, but you know if there's another place for you, and you know when you get there. It was Ray Charles. Before that, Isaac Hayes and David Porter, because they did something to me that we couldn't do at Motown. You didn't go into Motown with a contract with them, take your own stuff and say how you're going to do it. They gave you a producer, and you sang it that way. You might not have liked that way, but that's the way you had to sing. And if you were blessed, you had a hit. If you were not blessed, you just keep on somebody else. Mickey Stevenson might have it the next time, producing something on it. When I walked into Stax in Memphis, Isaac Hayes and David Porter said to me, what did you bring with you? I said, bring with me, I brought me. You all are my producers, what do you have for me? They said, well, since we never met you, you never met us, we need to kind of talk, and I need to know what you like and what you want to sing, where your feeling is. They took me to another place, but it was a place that I needed to go. Since they could not come up with anything at that moment, incidentally, at that particular time, I always used the same suite in the Lorraine Motel that Dr. King used whenever he was in Memphis. So I had them to have a piano put up there so Isaac could play, and we could just get to ourselves and we could work on something because they didn't have anything. So Isaac just started playing, and he was playing blues chords with classical tones to it. And as I talked, David Porter took out his pad and pen, and he started writing, and I told what a tenant of mine said to me one day when she came home and found that I had been crying. Don't ever let anybody think that you are not worth whatever you think you're worth. Always know your worth. Don't let any man, even if it is your husband, play you down. Because it's written on a $5 bill, what one man don't want, another man will. Now, I didn't put But this is what I said in my heart when she was saying that to me. I just said it to my heart. Look out.
That's right.
He's not going to do to me what he's been doing. Because I'm going to be gone. And when I said that about the $5 bill, David didn't write that. He said, you can do that on a landlady. He said, but we need you to, Isaac said, what I need to do, I need to pause and hit the chord right here. And you just say, look out. Your good thing's about to come to an end.
That's right.
And that was the hook to the song. And it's the part, and that was done in 1966. And from 66 to 2014, I still work on that hit. But it put me in a place where I could find myself. I could use my creativity. I could talk to people. I could ask women, are you going through anything at home that you can't talk about? Because if you can, I can. And it gave me a sense of mattering to my audience. So, my being a nurse sometimes happened from the stage to the audience. I said, oh honey, why are you wearing that Band-Aid? Did he hit you last night? You know, and you find yourself with people. People help you to find your place. You are in a creative mood and mode, and sometimes what you see today, you might not use it for 20 years from today, but it's back there in your subconscious. Don't stop dreaming. Do not tell your dream to everybody that you meet.
That's right, that's right.
Because it might become a nightmare. So pick your people that you tell your dream to.
That's good.
Let it be someone that enjoys a dream and can help you with that dream. They might not know they're helping you, but they'll say one word and it'll put water on your dream.
That's good.
It's a wonderful thing to include music in all of your life.